I am very happy as of now, from no views to a 1000 subscriber, and I have made over 136 videos on this channel. All I wanted was to see how far this channel could grow on its own without the need for advertisements or link spam, and I owe a lot to you guys, my subscribers. You guys don't even know how grateful I am. The channel is about 3 years old, and every piece of content posted is self-thought and has had a lot of late nights put into it. I know 1000 subscribers isn't a big deal, but the amount of love for ants and ant keeping is unbelievable and growing. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Also, thank you for all the comments, likes, and everything else, although I must apologize for replying late or for not being able to reply to your questions. Again, I am grateful beyond measure. Before I started the Ants Subang channel, I told myself that I wouldn't be able to do it as a middle-aged man with no experience in making online content or having any video editing skills. I was afraid of giving up midway, but I knew I had to start to be able to say I had already failed. I used to watch a lot of the wonderful ant channel, featuring cool ant colonies and beautiful nest setups. I also knew that not all is as it seems, and I wanted to share my personal ant keeping experiences as they should be. I wanted to do something different. I had the idea of showcasing all my ant colonies, but that has been covered over and over on YouTube. Perhaps I was thinking, what if I could just showcase my colony from a different perspective? Up close and personal, as it should be. Ants are beautiful insects, and I love to watch ants do their thing. In order to see their beauty and observe their social activities, you really need to get close. I observed my ants with magnifying glasses, so what if I can shoot videos close up like how I watch my ants? I didn't know how that could be done, but I was patient enough to get there, and I am here. You have made me feel like I've done something. While making this post, I didn't have an idea of what to feature along with this milestone, and I didn't expect to make any special, one-of-a-kind videos to commemorate this achievement. I have already drafted the next video featuring an ant colony, so I've decided to feature the iridomyrmex ant species, also known as the meat ants. I love meat ants. This is my favorite iridomyrmex species, and they are one of the moderately demanding species I have kept. They do not require much attention in their habitat, they can practically live anywhere. Feeding is super easy, there's not much left to clean out after they are done feasting. They will eat anything, oftentimes I feed them, forget about it, and come back 3 to 4 days later to collect whatever's left over. Again, there is usually nothing. This species is active the whole year where I am from. They forage and defend nests in large numbers. This iridomyrmex species is not an exotic species here, in fact, it is native to Southeast Asia. I believe they are iridomyrmex anceps, but they are often misidentified as bignelli due to their popularity. They usually dominate a vast area, and no other species of ants can be within their vicinity. I have a 2-queen colony of iridomyrmex. The first colony was established around 4 years ago, and the later one was introduced 2 years later. I believe they are polygynous because I introduced another queen late in the colony's development. The only thing that surprised me about having 2 queens is that they nest separately from each other but share the colony's population and resources. One lives in an acrylic nest, that's the old colony, and the other queen started her colony in a test tube, which I placed in the outworld 2 years ago. She hasn't left since, and I was hoping they merged initially. I probably read somewhere that iridomyrmex will only have a queen in every nest, but share the same habitat if given ample space. That could be the case with my colony, one living in the outworld and the other in an acrylic nest, and the only place joining these 2 areas together is a connector tube. As for the colony living in the outworld, I had to place more test tubes in as the water ran out quickly, and they just moved into it whenever there was one. It is practically a tub and tube habitat on its own. I find them most active during the day when the temperature is the highest, and they love it. They do not behave like black crazy ants, in fact, they are a much more coordinated, slower moving species as compared to the crazy ants. They have very good navigational skills. If they detect food from a distance, they are able to dash back in a single line in the direction of the nest to inform others of the find. They love to stay outside most of the time, away from the nesting chambers. That's how they cool down, by hanging out in the nest's outworld. I have observed them quite a bit now. and I can tell that different groups of workers fulfill different duties inside the nest. Those that tend to the queen and others to the brood won't venture out, and there are some cleaners who will just keep the nest clean by taking trash out. There are also workers specialized in storing liquids such as sugar water or honey in their abdomens, which become distended. It is really vital that they are given enough water. It will prolong a worker's lifespan, and I find this to be true. There are fewer corpses whenever there is a continuous source of fresh water within the nest. The queens are prolific egg layers and could lay up to 100 eggs a day. That many eggs laid will require a special group of tenderers. The group of workers that tends to the broods takes on nest tasks with perfect planning. They will sort the starting brood, which are the eggs, into only one separate chamber or test tube, following with the larval stages in another, and finally the pupae stage brood's only area. What I am saying is that different stages of a brood's development are never kept together for better brood care. At times, when my colony's population grew to overwhelming numbers, they had the tendency to want to escape and find more territory to explore and expand. Keep in mind that this species have mastered the skill to escape if given a sign that your nest has a weak point. You will for sure need a good anti-escape barrier that lasts and is easy to reapply whenever needed. On numerous occasions, they have planned to escape, but the trick is to add more surface area to the nest and allow them to occupy it. To do this, you can add an expansion nest or add more test tubes. And if this failed, I too would resort to culling the colony to make the population more manageable. Believe me, this is the last thing you will want to do. If you are bored and need new experiences, plan to start an iridomyrmex colony. One of the questions that I get asked most is, are these species for beginners? Yes, if you are well prepared ahead of time and this species is your type. No, it is not for beginners if you don't want a fast-growing species and you like taking your time to experience ant keeping without having to think about expanding. On a personal note, selecting the correct ant species to keep is important for anyone who has no prior experience. If you are from places that are dry and hot, this species is able to tolerate low humidity, and they breed very fast. If the colony is well taken care of, it can survive for up to 5 to 10 years in captivity. Again, I want to thank all my subscribers for getting me to 1,000 subscribers, and I am and will continue to improve myself in every aspect of ant keeping and content making. I would love to hear advice, and please do not hesitate to give me feedback. I'd like an honest opinion. Thank you for all the love and appreciation.